For Americans, land and liberty are completely intertwined. White Americans see their liberty as being founded on not being a peasant on somebody else's land. Preserving, promoting that liberty for white Americans, to them means taking native land. There is no other answer.
American colonists had been looking forward to the glorious day when the French and their Indian allies would be defeated and British subjects would sweep over the Appalachian Mountains looking for land.
Maps at the time show the colonies extending well into the interior. We often see maps as benign, as descriptive, as without argument. But they're aspirational in many ways. They're an argument rather than a conclusion.
Hundreds of native nations still are completely intact, completely independent. In the north is the powerful Haudenosaunee League, the Six Nations, including the Mohawks and the Senecas. To their south are the Shawnees, who have retaken the Ohio Valley in recent years and formed a huge confederacy that stretches from the Delawares or Lenapes in the east to the powerful nations, including the Anishinaabe of the Great Lakes. South of there are the Chickasaws, the Cherokees, the Choctaws, the Creek Confederacy, or the Muskogees, and hundreds of other smaller nations. These are nations that fight against each other, but also that increasingly, by the late 18th century, are making some larger confederacies, in part to try to fight against settlers who've been moving onto their land in recent years.
Beginning in the spring of 1763, in what was called Pontiac's War, warriors from at least a dozen native nations overran many of the British forts along the Great Lakes and in the Ohio Valley, and raided settlements, killing or capturing 2,000 colonists and driving out some 4,000 more. Many colonists responded by killing any Indian they encountered.
The Brits look at this situation and say, okay, we've just inherited all of this empire. How on earth are we going to stop this kind of thing happening again and again and again?
The British concluded that Native Americans and colonists needed to be separated, at least for a time. And so in 1763, a royal proclamation declared all the territory beyond the Appalachians off limits to settlement or speculation.
That prohibits white settlers from moving into these interior worlds. The same interior worlds that many colonists felt like they had just fought for. And many settlers become outraged that the British Crown has any form of imperial recognition of these indigenous populations. A kind of racial animus has formed in the aftermath of the 7 Years' War, in which many British settlers come to resent all Indians.
It's not because the British government is especially concerned about Native Americans. It's because they don't want Americans spreading out, where they'll be even more difficult to control. Part of British policy is British settlers will stay near the coast. And part of the colonist answer is, no, sorry, we're not doing that.
London hoped the proclamation would pacify the frontier. Instead, it infuriated those would-be settlers poised to move west and frustrated land speculators who saw fortunes to be made there.
And that is a huge slap in the face and a blow to those elite colonial Americans who've been indulging in this investment. Who are these people? Household names: Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Patrick Henry, George Washington,